नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारी हे नाथ 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 नारायण वासुदेव कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्राणतः क्लेशनाशाय श्रीगोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Dear devotees, with the grace of the Bhagavan Sri Krishna, divine knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita, and blessings from the Guru Maharaj, today we are going to continue to understand the chapter number 4, verses number 26-27. श्रोत्रान्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयम अग्निषु जुह्यति शब्दादीन् विषयन् अन्यन् इन्द्रिया अग्निषु जुह्यति सर्वाणि इन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयम योग्याग्नौ जुह्यति ज्ञानदीपिते. Juhyati Gnanadipide. If we start from that word, that tells everything. What I have said in 26 mantra and all. Juhyati Gnanadipide. Gnan is one type of the lamp, which we need to light that lamp. Now once we light the lamp, then what happens? The darkness is gone. In our life, under the senses, under our desires, under our materialistic things, we living the life which is called the dark ignorance. Although we do the things, but because those are the surrounding, that's why Bhagavan Sri Krishna Srotran, Indriyan, Sanyam Agnisu Juhyati, and which is I have mentioned many times. Sanyam means control on our senses, our mind, our body and everything. Which is Shrotra means listening. Very important, Sambhalvan. And I think 2 weeks ago I did mention, we only listen selective. 10 second, 15 second, 20 second, but that is the rule for us. But we forgot about what another 45 minutes has been told to us. That's why Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Srotran, started from this Indriya. We selectively choose what we want to. But if we control them, then we light the lamp of the knowledge, divine knowledge. And then that ignorance will be non-exist. Shabdan Vishayan. Shabda means a word. The person who has light the divine knowledge lamp in his heart or her heart, they choose the word wisely. In any platform, word is very important. We think a word have no impact but it has very huge impact in our life. Any word. Say Om. If he says Om, is one word. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, one word. But more and more we chant, that create the aura, energy in our body and mind, which remove the ignorance. Other side, if we don't use that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Sri Krishna Saranam Mama, then we will use the another word, which is something which is we can't pronounce into the our life. But because we don't have a Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya word in our life, we use those words. And then our life becoming like that. Simple example I will give you. There are the two types of devotees. The devotees who attend the services, place of the worship, or pray themselves to connect themselves through the devotion and feel the vibrancy of the place of the worship. Because they are there for the soul pleasure. Now, if the devotee is there to indriya pleasure, so then they are going to say, they will be there to enjoy the service. They will there to not to love the service, but get excited and enjoy the service. And that's why sometimes the word says, I did not enjoy the service. No matter how old you are, I'm not enjoying the mandir. Why? Because your word is not connecting to the Bhagwan. You're not here to connect yourself to the Bhagwan. You're just only here to give a pleasure to the Bhagwan. That's why you said, I'm not enjoying. Those who are in devotional path, they're not there to enjoy themselves. They're there to connect. No matter how crowded area is, if you see the Muni and Sadhus and divine personalities, no matter how loud, no matter what crowded, they remain themselves calm, focused, because they're there to connect. Not to give a pleasure to the Indriya, but to connect. But as Bhagavan says, Atma Sanyam, it comes from the self-control and discipline. Very important. If we fail to control our Indriya, because then our Indriya will look everywhere, everything. Say for example, our Indriya, if we do not train our Indriya, how to behave in the movie theater, how to behave in a park, how to behave into the place of the worship, and how to behave into the party or something. If we do not train those our Indriya, then whatever training we have given our eyes, nose, ears, tongues, Bhagavan Sri Krishna very nicely used the word. Shrotra Shabda, tongues come through the, word come through the tongue. Now how that happens? Whatever we listen goes to the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind create a picture, and our eyes see that picture through that subconscious mind, visualize what it is, and then through the word is come out. Now what we are listening, that's very important. Are we listening right things? Are we watching right things? Are we speaking the right things? But when it's going to be possible? It's going to be possible through our self-control and discipline. And discipline is something which is, we have to develop ourselves. Once we develop the Jnana, the knowledge, divine cosmic knowledge, power. We can discipline a child in the school up to the metric. In these days, as soon as grade 8 comes, discipline word is out of the box. No, none exist in the schools too. Teachers also finding difficult how to discipline to children after grade 9 or 10. Up to the child in a primary school, they follow the discipline stories. But high school one first year, because a grade 8 is just because they came from the discipline lifestyle. So they go into grade 8. Now as soon as they see there's a little bit gap from grade 9, discipline is gone. Same thing in our life. When we are in junior KG of the path of the devotion, we follow everything. Then we go to the primary level, we said, okay, now I have to follow the discipline. Then as soon as we enter into the high school level of the path of the devotion, then we find a gap. No, I can do this. I can do that. That gap means that we find a compromise. Into the path of the devotion, we compromise ourselves, which we have learned the discipline from the start through our spiritual master. We should not do, like child is the example. We say, child has learned already in the childhood up to the primary how to behave with the parents, how to behave with the grandparents, how to behave with the guru, how to behave with the friends, how to behave with the sister, brother. That all knowledge they get in a primary level. But then what happened? How the things change? Going into the high school, finding the gap. Oh, no, yes, I can do this. I got slight freedom, which called I got freedom. Now that freedom, if they use or misuse or abuse, then whatever the knowledge they have received into the primary school, they're not going to be given justification into the high school. Similarly, in the path of the devotion, as soon as we increase our level of the devotion grade, which in simple terms, if I explain, we're supposed to be more and more mature. We're supposed to be more and more calmer. We're supposed to be more and more understandable person. We're supposed to be more and more realistic, practical. We're supposed to be more and more divine and connected. But why the thing goes wrong? Because as soon as we find a gap in our higher level of the devotion, now what is that gap when I'm mentioning here is, because remember one thing, as soon as we do the spiritual exercise and duties, then we will get glorified. We will receive the name, we will receive the fame, we will receive the power, we will receive the everything. Without asking, we don't need that. And those are the biggest obstacle for us to reach to the next level of the spiritualism. Those who was powerful personalities, as I mentioned about Arjun, you can mention any name, Arjun, Bhim, Yudhishthir. This side, we can go to the Ravan, the Duryodhan. They all, we put two together. They all, Hanumanji Maharaj, Angad, they all had a very high level of the power. One has channelized them power under the guidance of the spiritual master, which I mentioned last week. Hanumanji Maharaj has channelized his power under the guidance of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Arjun has channelized his power under the guidance of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So that channel has took them into the right direction. Did not, despite having so much power, positions, they did not allow that ego to enter. They did not allow that position and powers to enter in their brain. Other side, there was no right channel, appropriate channel. I am the king. I got golden kingdom. I'm controlling all the devtas from the heaven. I'm the Ravan. But who killed him? No devta has killed him. We say Bhagwan Sri Ram, we understand, we respect Bhagwan Sri Ram. But in the form of the normal human, without having a big army. Who was the Bhagwan Sri Ram armies? Only monkeys. No human army was involved to kill a giant personality who was controlling the entire heaven. What has killed the Ravan? Not something which is weak, but Ravan ego has killed. Same thing with Duryodhan and many others. I can mention the list name, long list. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and Bali Raja, and long list. Subject is, you must try to understand. Our senses, as much as good for us, they are the very difficult and bad for us. The reason why is if we allow them to rule us, it's all about who is ruling what. We know in the house. As soon as you walk into the house, you come to know who's ruled the house. Nothing new about it. And then whoever ruled the house, the children also go to that direction. The reality is, once children go to that direction, children also believe who is them relative to. Give me one place where children will say, oh, my mama and kaka both are equal. You will find very rare 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%, maximum 30%. Otherwise, maximum will say, my kaka is the best. Yeah, I have a mama, but okay, it's fine. Other side, my mama is the best. I do have a kaka, but it's fine. There's nothing new about it. Who is the ruling house? That's why we come to the understanding. Who is ruling your house? Your house means Atma's house. Is your Atma is ruling house or your sense is ruling the house? If your sense is ruling the house, then your body will say, yes, I got power. I got position. I am something, I am intelligent. I am a knowledgeable person. I am a spiritual leader. Or I am a leader. Or I am a whatever it is. I am a president, I am a prime minister, I am a minister, or whatever it is. Because your senses is ruling your Atma. If your Atma rules you, then no matter who you are, you will say, Bhagwan grace. Today I am here, tomorrow wherever I am, wherever Bhagwan take me, I am fine there. Because your Atma is ruling, because your Atma already has light the lamp and telling you, thank you, done. And this is one thing we must biggest example from the Ramayana we must learn, where in the evening, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever time it was, Dasrath Raja has decided tomorrow the Bhagwan Sri Ram, means Prince Ram, going to become a king of the Ayodhya. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, right now as we are talking here. Think about if it is your or mine. Tomorrow you're going to become a president of the country. Fine, 100%. Whole night preparations exactly happened to the Ayodhya, whole night preparation. Everything was prepared. Getting exciting. Everybody was preparing. And 4 o'clock in the morning, message come from the high office. Thank you very much. You have not been selected as a president. Somebody else has been selected president. There too is fine. But now you have to go 14 years exile. What is the reaction your will be? Leave your son, you yourself going to say, hey, Bhagwan, who karo tame? No. This is our injustice. I'm going to go to the court. I'm going to fight this battle. How can my child be going to be injustice? Leave Bhagwan Sri Ram. Kaushalya, mother of the Bhagwan Sri Ram. How much she had a control on herself. Ke bhai, She was preparing. You know what? We can understand, we as a father, we can understand, but for the mother to see the child, okay, highest position of the state, how much preparation, psychologically preparation she went through whole night, and next morning she get told that your son is going 14 years in exile without anything. And that mother remained cool and calm. Not even single utter word, no protest, nothing, relax. That is called the Jnana Pradip. This is what Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Jnana Dip is fine, okay, relax. It happens. Now, let's move on. Yes, to a point is not right, but let's move on. Carry on. Because Atma is ruling the body, is not the senses. My eyes want to see my son to become the king of the Ayodhya. Yes, my eyes want to see, my mind want to see, myself want to see, but Atma says, no, relax. So what? 14 years later, your son going to become a king. Leave it as it is. Can we do that? We as a parents, can we do? If our child gets failed in a metric, we say, please child, you must do the reassessment. Who is ruling the body? Who is ruling the life? Your attitude, your behavior, and your life decide who is ruling you. Not is what exactly you appears, you show. Because mantra was looking nice. Mantra was looking fine. But what was going on in her mind? Only mantra was new. Shakuni was fine. But what was going on in his mind? Only Shakuni was. Because the rule by the Indriya. Shakuni only wanted to see the one thing. You have ruined my Gandhar Pradesh, I'm going to ruin your Indra, Hastinapur. Finish, that's it. Revenge. Subject we must try to understand is Jnana Pradip is something which is we must develop ourselves. And do not allow our Indriya to rule our body. Why? What is purpose about it? It's fine. Because remember one thing in our life, and it happens, you know, in South Africa to a point unstable, but generally if you look at that, when you get a ministerial position, or when you get a presidential position, while you on the chair, you get all the respect, love, hospitality, protocols, everything. The day you get out from the chair, next day, kutru puchwa na aave. Not even dog come to your house after that. Because you haven't got the power. That's why politicians don't want to leave the power. The reason why they don't want to leave the power, because they know what will happen to them once they are out of the power. That is why our Indriya doesn't want to leave the power. Because they know if they're going to lose the power, there will be none exist in this body. Such a beautiful creation of these two eyes. These two eyes can see everything, but they can't see each other. They can't see each other. They can see everything else together, whatever reason, but they themselves can't see each other. Why? If they start seeing each other, then they start ego. So then how they're going to rule? How they're going to rule you? They want to rule you. They don't want to rule themselves. Many things. Bhagavan has gave everything to us. Two eyes, 2 point on the inhale and exhale. 2 ears, 2 legs, 2 hands, one tongue and one heart. The heart and tongue, one, but both are very soft, very sensitive. Very soft and very sensitive. Tongue can ruin your life, and vice versa, heart also can take yourself out. If heart stop breathing, please. Heart stop beating. Up to today, I'm telling you, I don't know about tomorrow, but up to today, we all of us know, once doctor declare ke bhai death, finish, no one can make that person alive. And on what? When we go to the doctor, what the doctor check? The first telescope will go here. Stethoscope, sorry, not telescope. Telescope to અંદર જોવા માટે. ટેલિસ્કોપ તો હમણાં કેમેરા આવ્યો છે. સ્ટેટોસ્કોપ, સોરી, સારું થયું. એટલા માટે માણસ વાંગે હોય તો સારું પડે. So the first stethoscope will go here. ભાઈ ચાલુ છે કે બંધ છે? કન્ફર્મેશન. ભાઈ કેટલા ચાલે છે, કેટલા બીટ્સ છે, વોટ એવર ઇટ ઇઝ. Soul, if the soul ruled your body, then you will be not your ego, your anger, greed, desire, whatever it is, will have no place in your body. If the soul is ruling the body. That's why I say, who is ruling your house? That will decide everything, your interior desire, interior designer of the house, plates, cups, spoons, your bed sheet, every single things. Who is ruling the house? Starting from shoes to everything. Your fan and whatever you say, anything in the house. Even that also will decide where you're going to go, when you're going to go, how you're going to go, when is your holiday will begin, how is going to be and with whom, and all those things. Who is ruling the house? Similarly, in this body, who is ruling the house? That will decide what you're going to watch, what you're going to listen, what you're going to speak, how you're going to speak, when you're going to speak, when you're going to watch, when you're going to sleep, when you're going to wake up, when you're going to do. All those things decide who is ruling the house. Simple things. No further, no rocket science about it. We have made it, our spiritualism, as a rocket science. You know why? Because as much as simplifications we try to understand, then we have to follow that footstep. So we clearly, tell me now, clearly we all of us understand that if we as a spiritual person or as a human, if we going to eat the 10 chili, hot chili, then definitely our body or our tongue going to burn. We're not that stupid. Do we give that 10 chili? If your limit is you can give 10, 11th one you're not going to handle. Maximum 50 chili. Chalo, 50 api do, chalo. 100. Maximum you can give your tongue to 100 because you used to. But 101, finish, you can't handle it. And that much intelligence you got. But when it's come to the spirituality, I am ignorant. You don't need any the rocket science to learn the spirituality. There is no rocket science spirituality. Simple things. Do your karma right way. Follow your life based on the scriptures. Do your duties. Respect everybody. Love yourself. Love to the Bhagwan. Be a kind, humble, loving. You don't need to go to the university to learn these things. And worst part is university don't teach these things. Actually, primary school teach that. But the problem starts, as I mentioned about it. Whatever we learn in a primary level of the spirituality, as soon as we go to the university, we forgot about it. And then we do the strikes, and then we said, no, I need 35% to pass mark. But you came out from the school where you had 80%. But when you come to the university, you need a 35%. Why? Because you know yourself, you haven't done anything. Now that's why as we grow in the spiritual path, we tell, no, I don't want to do this. Why? Because you know yourself, you can't do it. You haven't improved yourself. Now you have to do the things which is you started in the primary school, spirituality, but now you want to show, as a problem, another problem starts. We want to show ourselves, okay, I'm a spiritual person. I have reached the high school level, but I don't want to follow the rules of the high school. But I'm spiritual. You give me a tag and title. I'm a spiritual person. I'm a mandir person. You mandir person, okay. Then what? You got tag and title, you mandir person, you spiritual person, divine person. It's fine, 110% respectful. But then when you act opposite than the mandir person, then what? Then you're going to say, no, ave thodu to chali jaya. Little but is fine. But that little but, like for example, always I give this example. When it's come to the Ekadashi, every Ekadashi we do, no, this is my Ekadashi, fine. But when it's come to 31st night in Ekadashi, 31st December night, and if that night Ekadashi come, then we said, 12 vage, 12 o'clock, Ekadashi end. Okay, so let pass 12 o'clock, 10 seconds. Then my glass is ready. The people who are surrounding you, they will ask, isn't it today's Ekadashi? Yeah, but 10 seconds is passed. So now I can have my party. Let's open that stand and let's put the fire in. Ekadashi over, 12 o'clock, midnight. So those who people don't do Ekadashi, they will judge you based on what you're doing. They're not going to tell you okay, what wrong you did, but they will say, okay, actor. This is just only actor. He doesn't do the Ekadashi, he doesn't take the seriously Ekadashi. Only doing the acting, because when you're in character, your acting is the best. Up to the 12 o'clock, midnight, I'm in character of the Ekadashi. So I'm a best Ekadashi person. But as soon as I come out from the Ekadashi character, and after the 10 seconds past the 12 minutes or 12 o'clock, I came out from my character of the Ekadashi. Now I am in this character. And I behave the way not supposed to be. 1 glass, 2 glass, 3 glass, 4 glass. Carry on. Subject is who we are trying to making food. Not an external world. We are trying to making food of ourselves by living into this double standard life. And that's where the world is going wrong in this situation. And particularly when it's come to the Hinduism, we are not setting example for our next generation, which is we are supposed to set. We must try to understand. Children will not do what you say. Children will do what you are doing. Children will only do what you're doing. So now if you as a parents compromising your Ekadashi midnight 12 o'clock, that child will not even going to do Ekadashi in 31st day. 31st. Why must I do? Even I have to fast. I have to break my fast midnight, 12 o'clock, let me eat from 8 o'clock. So what? And people like us, no matter how, and no matter when, and no matter how many times, we mention, no, Ekadasi must start sunrise to sunrise. Are bhai, tame bolya karo. You guys can speak which way. My father was doing, my mother was doing like that. I'm going to do it. Remember how many household, in these days, one thing's always, no, my father used to do, my mother used to do, in our house we used to do. No matter how old we are, we 60-year-old, 70-year-old, 50-year-old, 40-year-old, anything comes up, no, hang on. My mother and father used to do this way. When it's come to the happy occasion like wedding or something like that, no, we used to do this way. From where this is coming? Because children has so from childhood in every function, your mother or father or that house used to wash the entrance, make the swastik, Diwali time. How many people will say, now in Diwali time we used to close our shop, we used to go to the place of the worship, we used to buy the new clothes, we used to light the divo, we used to do that. Everybody says like that, but do they do for them children? How many households buying the new clothes in these days of Diwali time? How many households buying the new clothes at Diwali time, which they have themselves has learned from their parents? Brand new clothes. How many households buying from them children? They will buy the shorts. Summer ma આવે ને we're not doing that things. But yes, we will tell my father and mother used to do, we used to do that one. Used to do. We know, we consciously we aware it. But what we are passing to our children? Only short pants. Diwali, okay, kai vando nahi. We one day in evening, okay, take this old clothes out, come cupboard, nice picture, put it on a social media, celebrated Diwali. Pati. Next morning, nothing. The children don't even know. We should make a phone call to our grandparents. We should talk to our mama, masi, kaka, kaki, whoever house, whichever side. Who does that things? The reason why is we have diverted our life from the spirituality to the materialistic. And why? Because that's why I started is the ignorance. Ignorance means the darkness of the ignorance, which has played a very crucial role in our life, and then our focus has moved on to satisfaction for the soul. Instead of giving a satisfaction to the soul, we only giving a pleasure to our indriya. So our indriya is looking only materialistic benefit. Why must I make mithai Diwali time? Who's going to eat? We are the 4 people in the house. Before, we all of us used to make like chevdo, mithai, everything. Make 10 parcel, 7 parcel, 11 parcel, 50 parcel, 60 parcel. And then give out the parcel to everybody houses. Even we 4 of us in the house, but we used to do parcel for the 100 people. We used to make for the 100 people to make the parcel. Now, reverse, because our indriya says, I don't know them. Why must I make the parcel? Who they are? Now is our kaka. Okay. But they haven't given us any parcel up to now, so why must we? Then we'll find 10 excuses why mustn't I make the mithai or parcel for them. Because our indriya, our senses telling us, cut tie with everybody. That's why I'm mentioning Hinduism going wrong way. Wrong directions. And who is responsible for? our non-existence of the spiritual advisors in our life. This is, I always say, in these days, we have a financial advisor. Financial advisor, as soon as you win the 10 million rand, the first person you're going to look for it is who is a financial advisor. I will ask where must I invest, what must I do, how best return I will get it, and all those things we do. It's just 10 million rand. We say just means it is a just, because after you winning 10 million rand, next day your heart is broken, or the bubble is burst, then thank you very much, go. That's why I say it's just. But second part, there, for that we have a spiritual, the financial advisor. Then we have a medical advisor. Will tells you, okay, look, go for the checkup. Don't eat don't eat that. Don't drink that. Do that exercise. Do that. We have a dietitian. We have a physiotherapist. Many, whole list. Experts. We have everything. The problem starts, we don't have a spiritual advisor, which tells you how to live the life. Krishna Bhagwan was the spiritual advisor of the Arjun. Let's put it in our brain now. Krishna Bhagwan was the spiritual advisor of the Arjun. That's why Bhagavad Gita is very important. Krishna Bhagwan did not say, Arjun, okay, bhai, look, I'm going to fight for you. Don't spoil your child. Krishna Bhagwan was capable to do the war single-handed, without anybody. Doesn't need it. But what he did, he says, why must I spoil my child? He's my child, I want to show him a path. Krishna Bhagwan made them suffer. Made them suffer. Anything. What we see. Krishna Bhagwan did not say, okay, Duryodhana has given injustice, okay, come beta, Dwarka ma aa jao, come here Dwarka. I got also Dwarka Nagari golden. Enjoy, relax, calm down. No one will come and touch you here. You under my shelter. And you don't even need to go to the Hastinapur, leave Hastinapur out, finish. We'll make another kingdom. So what? If Krishna Bhagwan has to done that, that means that the Krishna Bhagwan making the fragile generation. In these days, we're making the fragile generation. Subject is, we are not making our generation strong and tough and rough. We don't want our child to suffer hardship. And that fragile generation, what are they going to do? The first damage is our Hinduism, our spirituality, and our culture and our tradition will start from there. Because they will be intelligent enough to make the money. With that money, they will do everything else. But they will not manage to handle the situations in difficult times. That's why stress, depression, anxiety cases more higher in the younger generation than the older generation. More depressed people are supposed to be older generation in these days. Because nobody there to look after, they think living alone. At this age I have to see all those things. And then depression increase. But they are more powerful. They are more stronger. They are more, I will say, they have a more courage to handle the situation than a 25 or 26 or 27-year-old child. If they lose the job, hey Bhagwan, my world is end. I'm in depression. You only lose one job. Ask your father, he's lose 10 jobs. Ask your grandfather, he had a 10 failure in his business. Ask your uncle how many difficulties he went through. But just because you lose one job, I'm in depression. Oh no, I must come out from depression. Okay, what must I do? Instead of going to the spiritual advisor, we go to the materialistic advisor, taking the pills. Spiritual advisor without pills will cure you within a second. The problem, we don't have spiritual advisors. Neither we are interested to have a spiritual advisor in our life, because Gnan, the lack of the Jnana, lack of the lamp of the divinity in our life. Controlled by the senses, fully senses controlled. And that is why the senses control is leading us into the wrong directions, and that's why we are suffering more and more and more and more. My Bhagavad Gita on YouTube, my Bhagavad Gita views will be 40 or 50, but astrological views will be 100 and 150. I'm the same person who's giving both knowledge. I'm the same person who's giving both knowledge. The views tells you which direction wind is blowing. And then I'm saying both sides is same things. I'm not doing anything new. Only the tones are different. The ways is different. In astrology, what I says, no superstitious, no miracle. And Bhagavad Gita says, no superstitious, no miracle. That's a standard policy of. Let's try to understand ourselves is, okay, at this stage in our life, where we supposed to be, at this stage of our life means, okay, no matter what age you are, I'm not talking about the age, I'm talking about that this stage in 21st century of our life, where we don't know exactly which direction we're supposed to go. That is why it's very important for us to have our spiritual advisors in our life. Everyone should make the spiritual advisors in their life. But what we teach our children from the childhood, spiritual advisor, the spiritual advisor means ke priest or guru or religious personality. Gujarati ma kehવાય બાવો. Sadhu, when it's come to the, I have a very short story to tell. Before I close, I have very limited time. When child is small, in one house, we all have 2-3 children were staying. And children always naughty. So every day, one of the sadhu was passing from that house. Bhiksha, 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 bhiksha. So 5 o'clock is time to asking bhiksha. And then in evening 4-5 o'clock, these children start naughty. That's routine. And the mother says, if you're going to become naughty, I'm going to give it to this bhava to you. I'm going to give it to this sadhu to you. He will hit you. He will do these things. But child is growing with that mindset. Mother or father only telling, don't become a naughty, but in a different, putting the fear in the child about the person who is appearing in front of that sadhu or whatever. Now that child is growing, turning 15, 16, 17, now child is becoming a naughty in a different direction. Taking the drugs and whatever it is. Having a smoke and everything. Now parents says, ki bhai aanu kai karu padse hai. So then parents says, okay, let's ask that Gamna Mandirma, that sadhu staying, let's ask him the solution. And that sadhu was witnessing what is happening up and down all the time. Now the parents went to that sadhu, say, please help my child. Sadhu says, bring your child here. Now, but my child not going to come. Why your child is? He don't want to come. That time sadhu says he don't want to come because what you have told, When the child was 5 year old, 6 year old, you told about me, Mr. Sadhu. He is a bhavo, he will take you, he will hit you, he will do all those things to you. Now what? Now you want me to cure your child because your child is sitting with that perception that, this person is going to hit me, he is going to do this, all those things, I don't want to go. And you know the ultimate solution is going to come from us, nowhere else. The subject is, we are not connecting our generations to the spirituality through the spiritual masters and religious personality. That is why we haven't have the lamp of the Jnana has lit. And that's why so much ignorance and darkness, yet we have a time to change ourselves. If we change ourselves, if we encourage our next generation to have a spiritual master in the life, world can be changed. Simple example, I will always give example. You go to any church, confession box is there. Every single person knows that if I do something wrong, go to the church and confess my sin. अब पानी नाखीने सुधारे कहेगा भगवान जाने. But the person knows that. છે આપણામાં છે in our Hinduism that system કે ભાઈ child, if you do wrong, go to the mandir and confess yourself and speak to the priest. Have we created that culture? No, because we have damaged our culture. And though they have learned from us, other culture has learned from us and we damage our culture. That's why Bhagavan says, Jnana Pradip, very important. Next week, one day, we'll continue about it. Because if I'm going to continue, then next 45 minutes and I have another things to do too. So very limited time and limited speaking. So next week, Monday, we will continue. But next week, Sunday, we are having a Rath Yatra chariot festival. Happen once in a year. Bhagavan Sri Krishna come out, give a blessings to everybody. This time we're taking our chariot into our suburb areas, Brelin Heights, Brelin Parkway, and Brelin Hills, 3 areas. We'll start from 8:15 in the morning till the 12 o'clock. We'll try our best to broadcast live if we can, but otherwise you will see the pictures. So we're going to do the Aarti now. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranatah Klesha Nashaya Govindaya Namo Namah Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. We'll do that now. आंज पड़े दिनयाथ में चकवाह चकवीरो चलो चकवाह क्या जय सांझ पड़े मत रो गौरी पूछे गोरिया कौन भले रो देश संपत होय तो घर भला नहीं तो भलो परदेश तिमिर गयो रवि देखता को बुद्धि गई गुरु ज्ञान संपत गई अति लोभ से भक्ति गई अभिमान अभिमानी कुंजर भयो लिय अपने सिर भार ताके जमरा कूट से जमलो डुगड़े लुहार
श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। ओम जय काना काला प्रभु जय काना काला मीठी मोरली वाला मीठी मोरली वाला गोपीना प्यारा। ओम जय काना काला कामण गारा कान कामण भौतीदा प्रभु कामण भौतीदा माखन चोरी मोहन माखन चोरी मोहन चित चोरी लीला। ओम जय काना काला नंद जशोदा घेर वैकुंठयुतार्यो प्रभु वैकुंठयुतार्यो कालिया मर्दन कीधो कालिया मर्दन कीधो गायो ने चारी। जय काना काड़ा गुण कणा तुझ पार के में नहीं आवे प्रभु के में नहीं आवे। नेति वेद पुकारे नेति वेद पुकारे पुनीत सुंगावे। ओम जय काना काड़ा ओम जय काना काड़ा प्रभु जय काना काड़ा मीठी मोरली वाला गोपीना प्यारा। ओम जय काना काड़ा ओम जय काना काड़ा ओम जय काना काड़ा। कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसंतम हृदयारविंद्रे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनो हरि सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते। श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। जलेन शीतलीकरणं कुर्यात् देवतानाम् अभिवन्दनं स्थापित देवताभ्यो नमः। निराञ्जनं समर्पयामि निराञ्जनं समर्पयामि निराञ्जनं समर्पयामि निराञ्जनं समर्पयामि आरार्तिकं समर्पयामि। यश आरोग्य प्राप्ति अर्थे स्वात्मानाम् अभिवन्दनं पात्राद् बहिः हस्तं प्रक्षाल्य। श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपा भज मन हरन भव भय दारुणम् नव कंजलोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम् कंदर्पय गणित अमित छवि नव नील नीरज सुंदरम् पटपीतमान तडित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम् शिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु उदार अंग विभूषणम् आजानुभुज सर चाप धरु संग्राम मजित खर दूषणम् भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंद रघुनंदयानंद कंद कौशल्य चंद्र दशरथ नंदनम् इति वदित तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मनरंजन मम हृदय कुंज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल रंजनम। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गणपति महाराज की जय। विघ्नेश्वराय वरदाय सुरप्रियाय लंबोदराय सकलाय जगद्विताय नागाननाय श्रुतियज्ञ विभूषिताय गौरीसुताय गणनाथ नमो नमस्ते। गणपति महाराज की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। श्मशाने क्रीडा स्मर हर पिशाचा सहचराश्चिता भस्मालेपम सृगपिनुकरोटी परिकरम् अमङ्गल्यं शीलं तव भवतु नामेवमखिलं तथापि स्मर्तॄणां वरद परमं मंगलमसि उमापति महादेव। राधे कृष्ण भगवान की, कृष्ण कन्हैयालाल की जय। बालकृष्ण भगवान की जय। शांताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगविरजानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। आकाशात् पतितं योऽयं यथा गच्छति सागरं सर्वदेवो नमस्कारं केशवं प्रति गच्छति मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्वमहं वन्दे परमानन्दममाधवं। त्वमेव माताश्च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेवं। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरं गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे। असदगिरि समं स्यात् कज्जलं सिन्धुपात्रे सुरदुर्वर्षाखा लेखनी पत्रमुरभि लिखति यदि गृहीत्वां शारदा सर्वकालं तदपि तव गुणानां मीशपारं नयाति। श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। जय 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 जगदम्बे आद्यशक्ति भवानी माम्बे मात की जय। नमो देव्यै महादेव्यै शिवायै सततं नमः। नमः प्रकृत्यै भद्रायै नियतां प्रणतास्मतां विद्युद्दाम समप्रभां मृगपतिं स्कन्धस्थितां भीषणां कन्याभिकरवालखेटविलसत् हस्ताभिरासेवितां हस्तैश्चक्रधरालिखेटविशिखांश्चापं गुणां तर्जनीं बिभ्राणां मण्डलात्मिकां शशिधरां दुर्गां त्रिनेत्रां भजे दुर्गां त्रिनेत्रां भजे दुर्गां त्रिनेत्रां भजे। अम्बे मात की जय। आशापुरी मात की जय। महालक्ष्मी मात की जय। राधे कृष्ण भगवान कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। बालकृष्ण भगवान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। गणपति महाराज की। ओम नमः पार्वती हर हर महादेव हर। ओम नमस्ते हमारा हो प्राणदाता नमस्ते हमारा पिता माता भ्राता नमस्ते महादेव जोड़ी देवी हस्ते नमस्ते प्रभु जी नमस्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते। जय श्री